Folks, this is Jeff Mapes at the Oregonian with Yuxing Zheng here from our staff, and for another Take 3 for Politics video. Of course, the big news today is the shooting at Reynolds High School, and of course there is a political element to it. In fact, Yuxing was monitoring Twitter this morning, not long after the shooting, and tell us what you discovered pretty quickly.
Yeah, public officials tweeted out condolence messages pretty quickly, but it didn't take very long for them to also move on to the topic of gun control. You saw Representative Earl Blumenauer tweeting about the need for universal background checks, and that tweet in particular elicited some strong responses from folks who accused him of trying to politicize a tragedy in which there were few details at that point. And so, of course, Oregon lawmakers themselves have struggled with background issues and other legislation. What's the latest we're hearing now?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, boy, I've seen this play out in, sort of shooting tragedy after shooting tragedy, is that the supporters of additional regulations on guns, gun control advocates, et cetera, I mean, they've been very quick to say, hey, this really shows that we need to get moving on this, and folks on the other side have been, sort of equally quick to say, you're politicizing a time when we should be mourning the victims, and that's not where our focus should be. So, boy, it happens a lot, and it did happen indeed today. Is that that the attention paid on this, that the supporters of additional gun regulations were very quick to say, we've really got to start focusing on the legislature and get legislation moving there. Background checks are really the thing they focused on because I think they're the most politically doable, so they've really emphasized those. And they're looking forward to the elections too. This is one thing that they hope to introduce as an element in the legislative elections, and that the question is, in the past, for example, background checks, there's been strong public support in polls for it, but that isn't so much. People don't vote who support additional background checks. They don't really vote on that issue. They vote on a wide range of things, and the intensity and the single issue voting has come more from supporters of gun rights, and we'll see if that changes in this election at all.
Right, and President Barack Obama made that point exactly in an interview he did today during a Tumblr interview, saying that it really depends on when the tide of public opinion changes, frankly. But he had some pretty sharp words and, scolded lawmakers for not passing what he called, basic common sense gun restrictions, and said we should be ashamed. So.
And he even brought up Australia, right? I mean, which is a country that's gone way beyond anything that's being contemplated by most people in the U.S., right?
Right. They have some of the toughest gun policies in the world. Well, I think we're out of time today.
All right, time to wrap it up. And if you have any comments, put them on the end of the comment thread here in the post.